The format of this meeting is a 10-minute speaker, a 10-minute coffee break, followed by... tonight our first speaker is Charles. Help me welcome Charles to the stage, please. So, nope, not Charles. Alek, sorry about that. Six names on it.
My name's Alek. I'm an alcoholic. I was asked to do this last minute, and I was taught very on in my sobriety. This time coming back, don't say no to AA. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? I've been living out here in Prescott now for about 4 years. I came out here May 19th of 2014 trying to get sober. The longest time I had back then was almost 3 years, and I was working in a program when I first got here. I was doing what I needed to do, and I stopped. I stopped doing everything, like my steps. I stopped my connection with God, and I had this bright idea, alcoholically, that I can do this by myself, and I kept on doing things what I wanted to do, and I stopped showing up to meetings, and you know how that goes. Eventually one day I just thought I could drink normally, and it got worse. It just got me back in and out of treatments, and so coming back this time, October 14, 2017, I was broken. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know who I was, and I needed help, and I knew where to go. So I went to treatment that I went before, and I got back into AA, and I picked up a sponsor, and my sponsor at the time, he's now living in Wisconsin, but I picked up a new sponsor recently, and I've been going through the steps with him now, start the steps over. But that's a little bit background. So as a kid growing up, I came from a good side of the family. My mom and dad, my mom worked for the government. My dad was a plumber pipe fitter in D.C. I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia. In the middle, it's kind of a city in the middle of Richmond and D.C. area. And I grew up as a kid, like, not knowing who I was. Like, I was just kind of socially awkward. Like, at the time, I didn't know who I was. I thought I was awkward. I was really insecure. I got picked on a lot. And then I moved to a different school, and that was a big change in my life. It was a bit more city-like, and there's a bunch of races and stuff, and I thought I had to fit in, so I chose this lifestyle, like the hardcore, badass lifestyle, because I looked up, I was like, that's cool, that's what I want to be. I want to be a thug, I want to be a gangster, And, I did things to fit in. Like, I was just being the class clown, like, I don't give a fuck attitude. I started drinking with these kids, smoking weed, and I thought I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. I love this. This is gonna be my job. Sell drugs, drink alcohol, and do the stupid shit. And I was okay with that, and I was at the time I thought that was like spiritually okay. Like I was okay with that. And I felt good about it. And I could not put down drugs and alcohol. I put that over my family and like all a bunch of emotions and like normal things that like normal people should not do. So yeah, like I said, I came out here, and this time going around through the steps, it's not the drugs and the alcohol that really brought me here. It's the things that I did. It's my way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like I could if I had a death in the family, I would rather get fucked up over that than go there for the death of my family and support my family. Like that's how fucked up I would be. You know what I mean? And and I was a slave to drugs and alcohol. I really was. So it was crazy life, man. And I don't know what I got a lot. I mean, so I started drinking when I was 12 years old. Was my first drink. My parents had a party at their new house they built, and my dad told me to go around and clean up these beer bottles. And here I am, 12 years old. I'm like, ooh, like this is what the grown-ups do. I want to become a grown-up, you know. So I start drinking like halves and fulls or empty one, you know. And I felt like, oh wow, this is good. And I was doing it with some buddies. We would put them in the trash can, drink some, you know, throw them in there. And that was like my first drunk, you know, and I felt alive. And then I didn't do that until I was like 14, hanging out with these other like older kids in high school. And so yeah, I don't know, man. The life I have now is really good. You know, like being out here, having so much experiences. I remember when I had some time, I was so miserable because I wasn't working any steps, and I was working a job, and I hated my job. And now I have that job today again, and I love my job. I'm okay with where I'm at with it. And people telling me that I should have a career, but I said I think God wants me to be here, right now. I think I'm spiritually okay with that, and I think that's okay with God. You know what I mean? Like I love what I do. I talk to customers. I treat them right. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with it. And when the time comes, God will present another opportunity when that time comes, and I'm going to be ready for it, you know. I really don't want to drink and use anymore, you know. I have a bigger family out here, and you guys are my family. Like, you guys can relate and identify with me. And I find where this is where I belong, you know. We come from all these types of backgrounds, but we have, like, one thing in common is that we're alcoholics, you know what I mean? But we can come into these rooms and settle our differences and with these steps that are brought to our attention, you know. And these steps have saved my life, you know. Right now, with my sponsor, I'm going over the steps again with my new sponsor, and I'm on 8 right now. And so I'm making a list of men's that I haven't finished yet, you know, that I put off in the past. And there are some hard ones I need to do, and there's some ones that the hard ones I don't want to do. But I know I need to do them because I want to feel free from this, you know. I'd rather be free than liked, you know. So I'd rather do this tough stuff. And I do a lot of things I don't want to do because I want to feel free, you know. I don't want to feel like a slave to my alcoholism, because if I stop working these steps and stop doing what was taught to me, I'm going to still be an alcoholic. It's just going to be untreated alcoholism. I'm still going to be sick. I'm going to do things. And then that eventually, from my experience, from what I learned, is I'm going to go back and I'm going to start drinking again. So I'm working on the 8th step right now. I have a list. I'm meeting up with my sponsor sometime this week, and we're going to go over it. And there's like amends that I didn't make. And it was at my old job at Fry's, and I stole from the store, and I got honest about it, and they fired me. But I never gave them the amount of money, and I want to make that right now, you know. I think that's what I need to do, and I'm going to go do it. But yeah, I mean, this program has done a lot for me, and I could take a little bit of I could take a little bit of it, but because I put in footwork. I did the things I don't want to do, but the main thing is this really giving it up to God, really, and I seek Him now. You know, as a kid growing up, I believed in Him. Even when I came here for the first time trying to get sober, I believed in God, but I never really sought and sought Him in prayer and meditation. I never really did that, and now I do that. I do that at work, on my lunch hour break. And I do that before I go to bed. And I haven't done this ever in my life, but recently I get on my knees and I pray on my bed, and I ask Him for some things, and I also thank Him for some highlights in my day, and I ask Him for some help that I struggle with my day. And then I sit in my bed, I lay down, and I really just give myself, and I just seek. You know, I just kind of soak up of what I talk to him about, and I'm okay with that. And what I'm struggling with right now is this morning routine. You know, I need to get back on that. My sponsor has me reading 86 through 88, and I've been putting that off. You know, there's no excuse, so I need to get into that again, because I notice when I don't do that, my day's kind of hectic, a little selfish. But other than that, thank you guys for letting me be here tonight, and with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, Alek.